I was on birth control for 20 years and I quit 1 year ago. I documented my entire experience. I didn't lose my hair. I didn't get a face full of acne. I didn't gain weight and I didn't lose my freaking mind. Be inserting clips in and out of this video because I was filming as it was happening. So I quit birth control in July of 2023. It is now July 2024, so exactly 1 year later. I was horrified, honestly, because I was on it for 20 years. I got on it when I was 13 years old and I got off of it when I was 33. Let's talk about the things that I did to prep myself and what it's like now a year later and why I did it and how I feel after being off of it now and what I'm gonna do moving forward. First and foremost, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am not here to tell you what to do or not do or persuade you for not seeing a doctor. I'm just here to share my experience, what worked for me, what I did. Do not take what I'm saying as professional medical advice. Today is day one of getting off birth control. I have been on birth control for 20 years. That sounds insane, even saying that out loud. I was put on birth control when I was 13. I am now 33, obviously 20 years later. And I was put on birth control at 13 because I had irregular periods and have just never had an issue once I got on the birth control pill and have just been on it ever since. Still never had to change brands or anything because once I got on it, my periods got in check. I had acne, it cleared up, and I didn't gain weight. It didn't put me moody or anything. So I just wrote it out for 20 years and it worked. I've never had a pregnancy scare or never been pregnant, anything like that. The decision to get off started coming up in my mind a couple of years ago. I've had different friends tell me that they were considering getting off the pill and that how it was bad that we were just thrown on the pill instead of finding the root cause of issues. So why were my periods irregular? Why didn't we figure that out instead of just getting on the pill? I did my research. I just didn't want to go cold turkey. I didn't speak to any medical professionals, so I'm not here to give any advice on that. Seek a medical professional if you'd like to. There are a ton of free resources out there. Cross-reference multiple sites and they all kind of say the same thing. So I'm gonna throw up something right here. It's just a quick little overview of how to kind of prep your body and what to expect and what you should be doing during this instead of just going cold turkey. In general, I already eat pretty good. So it's not like I'm gonna do a complete overhaul of my diet. I'm just gonna increase certain things, maybe more green vegetables and less processed foods, for example. Cut back on the dairy drastically. They say to quit alcohol or reduce alcohol. Right now, I'm just gonna quit it completely. I want this transition to be as smooth as possible. So I'm taking out alcohol, reduce caffeine. So I don't drink coffee every day, but I probably drink it maybe 4 times a week. So cut that back and maybe eventually just cut it out altogether. I already work out fairly well too, at least 3-4 times a week. So definitely keep that going. Maybe up it 5 to 6. Keep stress levels low. I started taking different kind of supplements that were recommended. A probiotic. Probiotics, it's gonna help with the skin, gut, and estrogen excretion. A super B complex, this one has vitamin C, so B complex will help with regular ovulation, reduce PMS, increase energy. And this one with calcium, magnesium, and zinc. It's going to help with improved sex drive, reduce the acne. That's honestly what I'm most afraid of. This one comes with magnesium. Magnesium will help stabilize my mood, regulate ovulation, help out with the stress, and reduce period pain. So across all the research I did, these were the 3 to 4 main supplements to take. And so I started taking them, I think in about May. I'm just trusting that by me taking the right steps, eliminating the things that are going to make this worse, preparing my body, that this is going to be a nice and easy transition. If not easy, at least manageable. If I can't manage this myself or with the free resources I have online, I will go seek medical attention. I have no problem doing that. So that's what I'll do. And just a little reminder, I'm not here to give any medical advice. I'm just here to share my experience. Just because I haven't seen too many videos of women that kind of prepped before getting off, they just went cold turkeys. I feel like I prepped pretty well and we'll have a good transition. Let's see. Oh, and the date, it is July 17th. So July 17th, it's my first official day off birth control. I started prepping my body, taking supplements, eating better, reducing alcohol, those kinds of things back in May. So let's go. Let's manifest a beautiful, smooth journey. I did not go cold turkey. I wanted to prep and research as much as I possibly could before deciding to get off something that I was on for 20 years. That is a huge step, and going cold turkey was something that I didn't want to do. I did a lot of research on my own, a lot of online research. I started following like period coaches or women's coaches on TikTok and Instagram, and just looking up and doing my own online research. Initially, when I started doing this, I did not want to consult a doctor, but I told myself if it got crazy or out of hand, then I absolutely would have. I am not against seeking medical attention if you need it, but going in, I was like, let me see if I can figure this out on myself, and then if it comes time to see a doctor, then I will. But I did not need to see one throughout this whole years. When I'm getting into something, I like to go to TikTok first or YouTube to get a real life firsthand experience from people that have done it before. But in this case, this was the worst idea because it was just horror story after horror story after horror story, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, all of these girls went cold turkey off getting off the pill. It seemed like it ruined their life for a brief period of time or a few months, but they eventually evened out and they're fine now. But that just scared the hell out of me, and I had to stop watching all those videos because I was like, if I watch this, I'm just gonna expect this to happen to me. So I just did a lot of my own research and prepped myself to have my own experience, and just trusted that I was gonna have an easy transition because I was honestly really afraid of the hair loss. Look at this hair. You think I wanted to lose any of this hair or get a face full of acne or my body or weight gain? Like, I was more afraid of the physical changes than like the inside emotional changes. Like, I can handle mood swing, mental instability. I guess that's what was happening, but the physical changes is what I was most afraid of than anything. So I was like, I'm not gonna go cold turkey. I'm gonna prep and learn about my body as much as I can prior to getting off. And 3-week update, just updating as I'm experiencing different things as they arise. So the only thing that I have noticed about me is that I've had my first bleed. So if you've been on the pill, that you know exactly to the day, sometimes even the hour that you're gonna get your period. Coming into it knowing that I could either go like a few months without getting a period, or that I could bleed at any time. So I actually started carrying around my Diva cup. I don't use tampons, I don't use pads. I've been using a Diva cup since 2019, and I love it. I've never had any issues with it. So I just started carrying that around with me just in case I started spotting or just a full flow. I did start what I thought was just spotting. So like I slept with the panty liner that night, and then in the morning I noticed this is pretty heavy. So I put in my cup, come to find it was a full flow. I did start tracking it, so just want to give a little update that I'm 3 weeks off, and that is the only thing out of the norm that I have experienced. The bleed has ended, so I guess Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's now Thursday, so as of last night it was kind of, I guess, drying up. That has been my only update so far on my getting off birth control journey. How I'm feeling right now, my skin is still, this is my normal skin, so there's nothing out of the normal than what I normally always have. So no acne breakouts on any part of my body. My hair is still doing great, and I just still think it's because of everything else that I'm doing. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. I drink nothing but water, the occasional soda, like literally once a month. If I'm having a burger. Let's see what else. I'm still taking my supplements, so like the zinc, the magnesium, the probiotics every single day. And I maybe have 1 coffee a week because I read to limit the caffeine or just take it out completely. So maybe 1 coffee a week, and then alcohol. Haven't cut that out completely, but I'm still not drinking consistently. Like, I probably go 3 weeks at a time, and then I have a drink and then stop. So what I'm doing consistently is the healthy eating and working out, and the other things that I severely reduced, it's like the caffeine intake, the eating out, and the drinking. So I just think all of those changes is just helping this transition go nice and smooth. It is September 27th, 2023, and I have a difficult update to make. The cramps are cramping. This is absolutely horrendous. I am in so much pain, And being on birth control, the cramps were never this bad. It definitely helped. Like, I was a little crampy, but I would still be able to carry on with my day. Like, I was fine. I never needed to take anything, but these cramps came swinging hard, hot, and fast. And I mean, it was just like in an instant. Like, from the second I felt the cramps set in to like how painful it turned into. I tried looking up home remedies, and it said like if you have Midol, like acetaminophen, whatever. So thankfully I do have Excedrin, and I read the back of it. I didn't get Excedrin migraine, thankfully. This is just regular Excedrin, so aspirin, and on here it's for menstrual cramps, so that is helping. I do not have a heating pad, so everything that I'm reading for at-home remedies for cramps is to say to like apply a heating pad. I don't have one, so I did heat up like a towel. The only thing that sucks about running a towel under hot water is that it cools down so quick. But either way, I'm still working. It's the middle of the day, so I set myself up in bed and just already sitting here. I'm sure the aspirin's kicking in, and this little bit of heat that I've applied is helping. I would say the first huge side effect that I have felt or noticed or seen since being post birth control. So it's fine. We're getting through it. I guess I just know how to be a little bit more prepared next time, that if this is going to be a thing, just to have things on hand. For one, I want to buy a freaking heating pad. For a 3-month check-in, I have been off birth control 3 months now. I got off July 17th. As you can see, we're now in October. We already passed the 17th. So I did get my 3rd period, I believe, or 4th, and I started tracking it. So this is the tracker that I use. It's very simple and easy to use. It's a free one. So this one started early Monday morning, and I think it was done around like maybe late the Thursday, but I just went ahead and hit Friday just to be conservative. But this one went really smooth. No cramping like the last one. I was in utter pain, or right when I felt the cramp started to set in, I immediately took some Excedrin, and that was it. Just a regular bleed. The cramps, I got them under control, and everything else is still fine. Still have all my hair, no acne in places. So I just think that everything that I'm doing right to ease this transition. But then also in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, it's only been 3 months post birth control, and I've been on hormonal birth control for 20 years. So it's still maybe just trying to leave my body. Either way, I'm happy so far that this transition has been easy. Other than the cramps, it's been my biggest complaint. And so far, life off of birth control has been pretty smooth. When I first got off, I wanted to document as much as I possibly could. And I did. I documented the weeks or months checkups and any symptoms that I was experiencing that was coming up. But I stopped documenting in October of 2023 because nothing was happening. I mean, thankfully, right? Nothing was happening to me. So like the physical changes that I experienced really weren't any. I didn't experience any hair loss. I didn't get any more acne than I normally did. Every now and then I'll get a little breakout, and you might be able to see a little bit here, but it wasn't more than I normally did. It wasn't alarming. So I wasn't worried about that. My body stayed the same. I didn't gain any weight. My cramps did set in. The cramps were freaking brutal. That's really the only big physical change that I experienced. And when I feel cramps coming on now, I immediately take a pain reliever, and that'll just like knock them down. My flow did get a little bit heavier, but it's still about consistently the same length of days that it always was on the pill. So really those are the only physical changes that I experienced, and thankfully that's really nothing. As far as the emotional changes go, I can't recall if I felt different or abnormally crazy, or I didn't feel like I was experiencing any of these mood swings. Again, nothing more than I usually do. Like in general, I feel like I'm an emotional person, and little things here make me cry, but like nothing was really setting me off in any way. Like my reaction to things that would set me off were normal. It didn't feel any more abnormal than it usually does. So I didn't feel any kind of crazy imbalance or any kind of mental instability or crazy mood swings. Like none of that happened. And it's because I guess I prepped my body right. But over the last couple years, I'm 33 now, over the last couple years, I just started hearing more and more women talk about them getting off birth control. And some of my own friends started to get off birth control, and they just started to bring up different points that, like, we've been on these hormones like our whole lives. Do we even know who we are? And then I started like watching stories about people that like they were with their boyfriends for so many years, and the second that they got off of it, like it just like changed their hormones and like who they're attracted to and who they like, and that it just impacts all of this stuff. And it's just something I never thought about. And then one of my friends that got off of it, because I was telling her, I was like, I just want to hear more about it. I don't know if I'm ready to get off of it. It's not bothering me, but I just want to hear why you got off of it. She's like, I just don't have a sex drive, and like I just never did. And I'm like, does that explain why I've never had a sex drive either? And I mean, I got on it when I was 13. I didn't start being sexually active until years later. And it just made me think, like, I've never had a sex drive. Maybe that's it, you know? All of these things were just in the back of my mind for the last couple of years. And I just told myself, I was like, when and if the time comes and I feel like I want to get off of it, then I will. I just kept thinking more and more about it. And it was coming, because you get like your prescription year at a time. It was coming to the end of a prescription. I was like, do I want to renew it? Maybe this is now a good time. I was also single, still am. I was like, this is the time that I can get off of it. I'm not in a relationship. I have the time to just completely focus 100% on myself and just be in my divine feminine energy and not have like any kind of male influence or be worried like, oh my God, I have a boyfriend and can't get off the pill because we're sexually active or whatever, you know? And I also waited until I didn't have any kind of like major life circumstances happening. I just wanted to be in a place like mentally that I could handle this in case there were crazy mood swings or anything else. Like I didn't want anything interfering with it. So a year ago, July 2023 was a good a time as any to start the experiment of getting off of it. And I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. If I need to see a doctor, then I will. Or if I need to go back on it, then I will. But let's give it a go. And I'm so glad that I did. In conclusion, I just said, I'm very glad that I got off the pill. I'm so happy with that choice a year later off the pill. This was the easiest transition. Like when I watch these stories back or these videos or even my friends' experiences, like nobody has had an experience like me. And I'm just so grateful and thankful this was such an easy transition to do. It's scary. Like I said, being on it for 20 years, you don't know what's gonna happen. How is your body gonna react? And I wanted to make sure like it was a full year out before making this video, because like when stuff stopped happening in October, that there was just no more to update in the few months that followed, I was like, let's just not prematurely jump the gun and give our experience, like let's wait a full year to make sure that nothing else comes up. And nothing did. Like I still feel fine. I feel good with everything that I've done. I haven't tested the sex drive theory yet because I'm still single and I don't sleep around. No judgment to anybody that does, but that's just not my vibe. So I haven't been dated anybody to really test out that theory if I've gotten my sex drive back in that way. But everything else is fine. Like my skin's still fine, or as fine as it normally is. My hair is still fine. I'm still fit. I'm still doing everything that I essentially was doing when it comes to like the fitness and working out, drinking water. I'm still not drinking. I still try to limit my caffeine. What I did change with the supplements is I stopped taking the B12 because it was making my piss like a neon yellow, and I was just tired of that. So I didn't want to take that anymore. And I'm still using my period tracker app, the free one. There are so many out there that cost money, but this is a free one and it's pretty consistent. And it at least gets me pretty close to an idea when I'm going to be getting my period and when it's ending. So I recommend this one if you don't want to spend any money. Overall, I'm glad that I got off of it, and I have no plans on getting back on it again. And so again, I'm not a medical professional, so just take this video with a grain of salt. It's up to you and your discretion if you want to try any of the methods that I use. Do all of your own research first, consult with a doctor if that's what you feel like you need to do. But this is just my experience, and it was a fairly easy transition, and 100% glad that I did it. So if you've been thinking about getting off the pill, do all of your research. Don't watch those horrifying videos of everything that can absolutely go wrong with this, because just a testament that it doesn't have to be a scary or awful or rough transition. Take care of your body, put all of your divine feminine energy into yourself, give yourself a lot of love and compassion during this time, and good luck on your getting off birth control transition. Thank you for watching.